time to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, we have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
We need to win this game. Shit.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch, his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
On first down, Carr. And now winding incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly some... that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. First carry for Josh Jacobs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. We're going to look now at the defense for the New York Jets. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
They run it with Jacobs. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3 and out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast. Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
New York set to take the field.
Ready, break. 35. Come to work. We want it.
On first down, it's Moore, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now back to throw. He's going to air one Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Brissett. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They tried well on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Right there, 54. Get him, get him, get him.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett.
Damn.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Going to look deep for Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one is right down the middle. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The New York set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On play action, they'll throw. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 catch and run. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. He'll look to throw. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every round that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
On second down, it's Moore. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On third down, Moore. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Out there now, the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Brissett. Bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
On second down now, it's Moore. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's caught by Herndon. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run on first down. Moore. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Get a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Let's get it. Mike by four, Mike by four, Mike by four.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. Here's one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st down, it's Moore. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. They'll drop the throw. And he's got Mooney. All the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A well-executed 22-yard gain. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Moore, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 2nd and 10. It's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
But still,
9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
Very close.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air.
That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Jets will extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the 2nd quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It shows that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Now you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. It's caught inside the 25. Give them 32 on the play. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw is Brissett. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Brissett. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Until that late score here in the 2nd quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half. But when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was the Texans who picked up the victory at home. Austin Eckler, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we'll skip over to Louisiana to check on the Saints at home in New Orleans. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Detroit Lions. Ryan Tannehill leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it was the visiting Chicago Bears who come away with the victory. Mitchell Trubisky strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The New York set to take the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Throw for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up to the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. They'll run on first down. Moore. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. This one caught by Crowder. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. He'll look to throw. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked there by Nick Nelson. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jacobs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On third down, Brissett. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19. zone now. Brissett, the open man here, Renfro. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They throw right away. That's complete out on the right side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's a new one. The way in. Touchdown, New York. Quincy Enunwa with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, I'd be at practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down. Not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit. Because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first down, it's Moore. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Curtis Riley there on the tackle. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Moore. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. 2nd and 11. Herndon's got it complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
50, plant. Get ready.
They'll run on first down. Moore. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. All you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is...
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Jets will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. This is taken at the 3. So the Raiders now down by 10, 2:10 on the clock. A crushing loss to their playoff chances on the horizon, barring a huge turnaround here, starting with 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, Brissett. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the feet, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rush coming, and he's taken down. C.J. Mosley in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. To try again after the sack. C.J. Mosley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Brissett sliding out of the pocket and unable to connect to plate. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play in the football.
And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Henry Anderson. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town, and now
they're down to none.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's just fucking embarrassing.
60 yards.
On 2nd down now. It's Moore trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Jets, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I got the